Okay, so now we're going to talk about hybridity and different forms of hybridity. Now, when we talk about hybridity, people have a tendency to just say, oh, it's when cultures blend together. But there are different ways that cultures blend together and different ways that people kind of construct hybridity. And those become important with regards to what kind of hybridity we're talking about in the long run. So the first way that hybridity happens is what we call cohesion. And this happens when we have mutually attractive ideas come together, when there are similarities between different cultures. So it might be, well, there's some differences, but we do see places where where we can see some common ground, and that common ground then connects us together, so that we're able to say, okay, well, we know that we have some differences and so forth, but we're going to meet on these common areas of agreement. So we can see how that hybridity creates and connects in those situations around those cohesive moments of agreement. So it might be that somebody is a liberal progressive Catholic and somebody might be a evangelical Christian, and maybe there's points of disagreement between these different groups, because the conservative evangelical believes in certain ideas with regards to politics, and the liberal progressive Catholic believes with certain ideas about politics, and there might be conflicting points there. But because of their strong religious backgrounds based in Christianity, they will find points of cohesion and connection, so that then they're able to then develop a relationship, a hybrid relationship, in those points of agreement. We also have diffusion, and diffusion is a fluidity of ideas where things, in a sense, melt or meld together. So, and we'll see this a lot of times when we talk about hybrid, meaning out there in the cultural world, where you have lots of different cultures engaged in the same communities. Most of you who live and have had really experience only in Arkansas won't have a sense of what this looks like in major urban centers, which is where the majority of people in the world live. In these major urban centers, you have people from all different walks of life and all different cultures all operating within the same space. And there are times when those spaces start kind of moving into each other, to the point that there are adoptions of certain cultural sayings, certain cultural beliefs, certain cultural practices from a number of different influences that will then kind of create something new in its own space. Now, when we say fluidity, it's important that it is fluid, that it's not that there's something that is created and then that thing is static and it's its own deal. It's that these different things flow in together and they interact together. And so that hybridity we can think of as emergent hybridity, because it's always constantly shifting and changing. Dispersion is when we have an attraction of opposites, and this often happens with hybridity. This happens in interpersonal hybridity to a large extent, when people feel like somebody else is helpful to them because they offer something different. They offer something unique that they don't have. That there is an attraction of opposites because the opposite provides something that is missing in whatever that whatever that person feels in a specific situation. And then adhesion is when dissimilar ideas will cling together. So there are just some times when things will kind of connect together, and we'll talk about different versions of adhesion in the next presentation.